You don't win a debate by suppressing discussion. You win it with a better argument. Good morning, respected Principal Sister Stella, Headmistress Sister Arul, distinguished guests, judges, teachers, and my fellow Martyrians. Today, we begin our cultural week with an oratorical contest. I warmly welcome you all to witness and enjoy today's event, Anuradha Bhardwaj Oratorical Contest 2023. The contest consists of two categories. Debate for senior category from classes 9 to 12 and humorous poetry for junior category from classes 6 to 8. This contest commemorates Anuradha, the daughter of Mrs. Prafullata Bhardwaj and late Sri Hansraj Bhardwaj, former Minister of Law and Justice, Government of India and former Governor of Karnataka. The eldest child of her parents, she was very responsible and caring. During her school years in Mater Dei, she was an intelligent and hard-working student. She used to participate in the school functions and extracurricular activities, particularly in cultural programs organized in the school. After passing out of the school, she got admission in the Indraprasth College, Delhi, for a degree course in English Honours. It was 25th February, her birthday, and she was returning from her college after inviting her friends before the birthday party, when she met with a fatal accident and the cruel hands of fate snatched her from us. Although she is not here with us physically, she is always alive in our hearts and memories. We are blessed to have in our midst today Anuradha's mother, who is accompanied by Miss Pallavi Bhardwaj, granddaughter-in-law of late Sri Hansraj Bhardwaj, and Mrs. Prafullata Bhardwaj. Pallavi ma'am, who has been a topper throughout, is an accomplished lawyer practicing both in Supreme Court and High Court. We warmly welcome both of you. Now, I request our principal, Sister Stella, our headmistress, Sister Arul, Anuradha's mother, Mrs. Prafullata Bhardwaj, Pallavi ma'am, and our judges for the day to pay tribute to Anuradha with flowers and light the lamp accompanied by a prayer song. Let me now introduce our judges for the morning. We have amongst us Miss Maheen Faisal, an ex-student of Mater Dei, who is an MA Honours in Philosophy from Miranda House, Delhi University. Ma'am has chaired in UNCSW in Jesus and Mary College MUN in 2023, UNGA in the Air Force School MUN 2020. An avid debater, she has participated in the Anuradha Bhardwaj Oratorical contest while in school. Currently, Ma'am is working as the Vice President of Wiki, Uttar Pradesh Sector Council 2022. A very warm welcome to you, Ma'am. Our second judge for the morning is Miss Jasleen Bedi, our ex-student and the school topper in class 12, 2020 to 2021 with 100 in 3 subjects. A thorough legal enthusiast, certified cognitive behavioral therapist, and an avid reader. Ma'am has specific proclivity towards comparative constitutional law, criminal law, company law, and corporate insolvency and bankruptcy law. She has been involved with non-governmental organization Think Ocean India, Binding Bharat Rejoice Health Foundation, and many more. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
We will now be starting with the seniors debate competition on the topic Smartphones Make Us Less Smart. It is certainly an intriguing topic and each house will be going both for the motion and against it. Now, I'd like to brief you all about the rules for the debate competition. There are 2 speakers per house. The duration of the speech is 3 minutes. At the end of 2.5 minutes, a warning bell will be rung. The final bell will ring after another half minute. On completion of 3 consecutive years of participation, a student will participate only after a gap of 1 year. Only one, either the house captain or vice captain of the same house, can participate in the competition. The decision of the judges will be final and binding. We will now start with the debate. I request the house captains to introduce their participants. Coming up on stage is the Tagore house captain.
We commence this highly anticipated debate competition with Inara Sefi from class 12B of Tagore House. She stands to present her views in support of the topic, Smartphones Make Us Less Smart.
Feels quite strange, right? Sitting in silence for even 5 seconds. This is what smartphones are doing to us. Good morning to everyone present here. Today I, Inara Sefi, would be speaking for the motion, Smartphones indeed make us less smart. It is said that being bored increases our attention and focus, but we are used to living in a constant stimulation. From phones to laptops or PCs, our day doesn't go by without looking at a screen. A screen which is constantly hitting us with new information in the form of 10 to 30-second videos, which if we find interesting, we have to go back again to watch it, because we were not even paying attention the first time. 10 seconds. That is the limit of our attention span. If that is not indicating towards us losing our smartness, I wonder what would be enough to make us take action. Dopamine detox is a term that has been recently trending on the productive side of YouTube, Instagram, and probably other social media sites. Quite ironic, right? Let me explain. Dopamine, in a layman's term, is a happy hormone that we get a hit of, or maybe a pretense of, every time we go on our phones. During the detox, people go off their phones and mild addictions for a limited time being, say 15 days, and replace it with a more creative and a mindful pursuit of life. It is seen that people often come back with a rather calmer outlook. Then it can be understood that what the smartphones are apparently aiming to fulfill is the very thing it destroys. It is foolish to deny that smartphones are now an extension of humans, but it is more dangerous to forget that it is not the only thing our lives revolve around. Human beings innately require love, care, and connection along with other essential things to survive. And smartphones, in the pretext of providing all that to us, takes away the crux of it all, the physicality, the humanness of it. In this world of rapidness, instant deliveries, instant dating, instant messages, we are forgetting or losing the touch with reality. Habits or successes are not formed instantly or overnight. I want to leave you all with this thought. Smartphones were created to make us live our lives more conveniently and easily. And that is how we should ideally be using them. But to use it wisely is a choice we need to make, and we need to make it today. And unless we do that, we would be right where we are, away from our intellectual capabilities. Thank you.
Next up, I would like to call Shreya Sumesh, a student of class 10B, to present her views against the topic.
We call a telephone because we use it to call other people. Similarly, we call a smartphone because we use it to make ourselves smart. I extend my warmest greetings to the most esteemed jury members, sisters, teachers, and my fellow students. Today, I stand before you to present my humble views against the topic, smartphones make us less smart. I'm sure all of us would unanimously disagree with this alarming statement. In this digital era, where even the most illiterate person has information a single click away, how can we claim that smartphones are making us less smart? It's just absurd and more like an unscientific conspiracy theory spread to slander one of humanity's greatest inventions. In fact, researches have been conducted which show that our smartphones are indeed making us smarter. Researchers at University of Cincinnati explain that smartphones enhance our abilities to do smart things by acting as extended memory. This way, trivial data can be stored in phones instead of our brains, and the freed space can be used to store some new skill or important data. My excellent opponents may disagree, but I'd like to ask them a simple question. Do you know that India recently achieved global glory with its successful moon mission Chandrayaan-3? Of course you do. And how do you know it? Because you saw it in your phone's news feed or on social media, or at least were told by someone who came to know it through their, you guessed it, smartphones. So, thanks to our really smart friend we can carry around in our pockets, our brains receive a constant influx of current affairs and enlightening facts. The pandemic also highlighted the importance of our smartphones. The world was completely shut down, and smartphones were our only constant aid. Whether it be ordering groceries, booking hospital beds, or even taking a COVID 19 test, our education also continued only because of this great boon. My worthy opponents may argue that smartphones have their cons, such as addiction, affecting eyesight, etc. But then, what doesn't? Nothing in this world is perfectly good. So, my opinion is that instead of complaining about non existent threats, we should actually try to harness the never ending capabilities of our intelligently, knowledgeably smartphones and become enlightened beings ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Tago House. That was indeed enthralling. Next up on stage is the Nehru House captain.
The debater from the senior category representing Nehru House is Tanvi Singh Pelania from 10B, speaking for the motion. In an age where Google it has replaced thoughtful reflection, let us lend our ears and listen to what Tanvi thinks of the matter.
The blind man aspires to appreciate the beauty of the world he cannot see, while the sighted one stares at his phone. Good morning, respected judges, Sister Stella, teachers, and all present here. Today, I will be standing before you to put my views on how smartphones make us less smart. I shall be speaking for the motion, a world where flickers of screens outshine the brilliance of human minds. Crazy, right? Well, that's happening. Smartphones are like mini black holes sucking up our time, our attention, or any hope of maintaining a semblance of privacy. We might find ourselves relying on instant solutions rather than tackling the problem and understanding its deep use. Smartphones are useful to all extent, but there is also a darker, perhaps I'll call it grayer instead, so it doesn't sound too sinister, side to our smartphones. Remembering the phone number of our friends, relatives, or even the closest cousins has become such a huge task nowadays, isn't it? If I put it to the audience of my fellow friends that what is the landline number of our own school, Ma today, the first thing that will click to your mind is to get on the index of your gadget and dig out that landline number, which is, by the way, an 8-digit number, 2338 7679. Look, it's not rocket science, yet we fail to memorize it because we rely so much on our technology, our internet, our smart devices, that our memories are eroding. We are becoming forgetful and are unable to recall and retain information. Sure, smartphones have made us more connected than we ever were before. But at what cost? We're connected, all right, connected to a digital world that thrives of gravitation, shallow relationships, and an insatiable desire for the next dopamine hit. Because thanks to the likes of Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, that the feelings of social isolations have increased. Thanks to such companies like Facebook that make sure our eyes are glued to the screen for as long as possible. To conclude, we are outsourcing our brains to our smart devices and losing the ability to do the things that we can. And once those skills have gone, they've gone for good. So cheers to smartphones, the pocket-sized destroyers of genuine human connection, and the architects of the grand illusion that a life lived on a screen is a life well spent. Thank you.
The next debater from the senior category is Anvi Prashant Kalyani from 11A, speaking against the motion. She is here to pose her stance on the table and back it up with facts.
The world is constantly evolving, and we can either choose to evolve with it or simply get left behind. Good morning, respected principal, Sister Stella, esteemed judges, fellow debaters, and the audience. Today, I stand before you vehemently opposed to the motion that smartphones make us less smart. Picture this, a world where information flows freely, knowledge knows no boundaries, and learning is at your fingertips. That world is our reality today, thanks to the marvel of smartphones. In this era of technological advancement, where the answers to all our questions lie within our palms, it is very easy to cast blame on our handheld devices for allegedly diminishing our intelligence. But we must not forget that it is not the tool that shapes our intellect, but the way we choose to use it. Smartphones are a gateway to an unimaginable wealth of information, connections, and ideas. With a few taps, we can access encyclopedias, scholarly articles, research papers that can deepen our understanding of the world and expand our horizons, while also connecting us to people from around the globe. Smartphones aren't dumbing us down. Instead, they're breaking down the barriers to education that once existed. Let's take a pause and talk about critical thinking. A study published in the journal Computers and Education demonstrated that smartphone users show higher levels of critical thinking as compared to those who don't. Well, I guess it's safe to say that access to different perspectives through our phones, social media, and the internet widens our horizons and challenges us to think beyond the bubble that we've created for ourselves. Remember the days when we had to rely solely on physical encyclopedias and libraries to gather information? Well, according to a survey, 85% of teenagers today use smartphones to gather information for school projects and their research papers. So, at the end of the day, smartphones are a neutral device, and it's up to us whether to use them to scroll through Instagram or read an ebook. In conclusion, folks, this begs the question: how much longer are humans going to continue blaming man-made solutions for their own downfall? I guess maybe instead of pointing the very hands and fingers that scroll endlessly through our smartphones at each other, we should realize that the unhealthy consumption patterns of tech today is our own fault. Thank you.
Thank you, Nehru House. That was certainly a remarkable debate. Coming up next on stage is the Ashoka House captain.
The first debater from the senior category representing Ashoka House is Zaina Aziz of class 12A. She will speak for the motion.
Good morning to one and all present here. Today, we're here to discuss a topic that's as captivating as our beloved smartphones themselves. Smartphones are making us less smart. Now, before you frantically unlock your phone to fact check me, hear me out. The ready availability of information on our fingertips has led to a decline in our willingness to engage in critical thinking and research. In the past, seeking information meant a trip to the library, skimming through books, or critically evaluating sources. But today, just a quick search on our phones can provide us with instant answers. We've become so reliant on Google that we can't even remember what Googling used to mean. Our internal dialogue has shifted from, let me think, to, hey Siri, what's the answer to this? As a result, we've become more gullible and less expert at critically analyzing the information we come across. Now let's consider the impact of smartphones on face-to-face interactions. While these devices promise to connect us, they can paradoxically lead to isolation and superficial relationships. People are increasingly absorbed in their screens, even in social settings, be it a family gathering, a fun outing with your friends, or maybe even a debate competition. This not only hinders our emotional intelligence, but also limits opportunities for personal growth through interpersonal interactions. And don't even get me started on our attention spans. Remember the times when we could sit through an entire lecture without checking our phones? Now we're like goldfish in a sea of notifications. Oh look, a new email, an Instagram like, a trending tweet. What was I saying again? Oh yes, smartphones have transformed us into digital butterflies, fitting from one distraction to another. Studies have shown that our attention spans have reduced significantly over the past few decades, making it incredibly hard for us to focus on a single task or engage in deep, uninterrupted thoughts. So, in conclusion, our smartphones might be the smartest things in our lives, but they're making us just a tad bit dumber. They've become our personal secretaries, our source of endless entertainment. But let's not forget that the power button can be flipped off any time, allowing us to reclaim our brain power and indulge in some good old-fashioned human interaction. Thank you.
The second debater from the senior category is Shivi Mehta of class 12C. She will speak against the motion.
Pneumono-ultra microscopic silico-volcanoconiosis. What an odd way to start off a debate. Well, this was the longest word in English. And don't you worry, I'm no Hermione Granger with a 4.0 GPA, nor do I prefer skimming through a dictionary in my free time. However, I did become aware of this word through a smartphone. A very good morning to all present here. I will be speaking against the motion and enlightening you all on how the very argument that smartphones make us less smart is entirely unsubstantial. Multiple scientific studies suggest that we, supplemented by our technology, are capable of accomplishing many more complex and advanced tasks than unsupplemented by it. Keeping this in mind, I cannot emphasize enough on the extraordinary advantages of a smartphone. Although a smartphone, or any other gadget for that matter, will only stand useful if you utilize it smartly enough. And that is to your advantage. A smartphone can contribute heavily to your general knowledge of the north, east, west, south of the world. It can help you increase your internal cognitive capacity by performing specialized functions like memorization, calculation, and storing information. I mean, you no longer have to remember the left turns and the right turns to your final destination. You can simply feed your schedule, appointments, and all those important dates in your smartphone. Additionally, communication, which is just another specialized function performed by smartphone, helps you connect with the world, improves your understanding of the world. To conclude, with this pool of information, multitude of perspectives and data that is made available to you through a smartphone, you can simply gain boundless and immense amount of knowledge and only become smarter. Because truly, that tiny little device in your hands, the smartphone I'm talking about, is a portal to any information in the world. And our adaptation to it, our acceptance for it, will help us achieve the unimaginable. Thank you. Thank you, Ashoka House. A wonderful debate indeed. Next up on stage is the Gandhi House captain.
what we use to look smart and techno-savvy, is it actually making us slow-witted? I call on stage our contestant Ilma Faisal from class 10B, representing Gandhi House, to express her views for the motion.
Karl Marx said, and I quote, "The production of too many useful things results in too many useless people." A very good morning to my honorable listeners. I am Ilma Faisal, presenting my views for the motion on the topic, "Smartphones Make Us Less Smart." Honorable listeners, using our smartphones has become increasingly habitual and addictive to the point that we can't go a day without it. Right from posting a picture on Instagram to being anxious about how many likes you will get, to searching on Brainly, class 10th, maths, exercise 5.2, question number 2, part 2, answer. We have all been there. What we need to understand is, even if we manage to get the answer of the mathematics question, is it really helping us in the longer run? Think about it. Our minds feed off the thrill that we get from looking at social media or sending a text message, but we often forget how to live our lives free of this technological burden that not only is a constant distraction, but it also lowers our intelligence, takes away our creativity and freedom. Let me tell you something about brain drain. It is a phenomena that can reduce your learning capabilities, problem solving, and logical reasoning. The closer you are to your phone, your brain power decreases. As a matter of fact, our learning ability is heavily dependent on search engines. Therefore, we believe that there is no need to encode or decode any information by using our brain anymore, right? There is a very interesting terminology that I would like for all of you to know. Technoference. Technology plus interference. The interruptions that are taking place between you and your family members because of technology. For instance, instead of having a face-to-face conversation with their child, some parents use Facebook to keep track of their children's activities and send them a friend request. Let me tell you, the ramifications of this distancing are profound. That being said, I want my audience to think, can we allow smartphones to be smarter than us? Till the time we are dependent on smartphones and use it as our memory card, we will sacrifice our ability to think. Therefore, we need to reduce our proximity to smartphones and give our minds more space to think and be creative. I would like to conclude my stance with the beautiful, beautiful words of philosopher William James. The art of remembering is the art of thinking. So start thinking and stop Googling, YouTubing, Snapchatting, or Instagramming. Give your teeny tiny fingers a rest and start using your brain a little more. I rest my case. Thank you.
Try not using your phone for a day. Sounds inconvenient, doesn't it? But you also reduce your screen time and can now use those valuable hours productively. Let us see what our next contestant has to say about this. Here we have Chandrima Pal from 11B, presenting her views against the motion.
Always in our hearts or in our pockets. Today, it is almost impossible to imagine a life without smartphones. As of 2023, there are roughly 6.9 billion smartphone users across the world. While you let this sink in, let me start by wishing our respected principal, esteemed judges, teachers, and all those present here today a very good morning. I would like to begin by asking you to imagine a hypothetical situation where you're new to Delhi and you're trying to navigate through rush hour traffic. Sitting in your car, your hand inadvertently reaches to your phone to place a call to your family, letting them know that you will be late. You then switch over to maps to find the best route, and combining that with your innate driving skills, you might manage to make it home before dinner. This amalgamation of technology and our inherent abilities only serves to remind us how our smartphones are making us smarter. Case in point, before I wrote this line, I didn't exactly know what amalgamation meant, but now I do, all thanks to you, my smartphone. Smartphones enable us to access vast amounts of knowledge, to satisfy our curiosities, all with a few taps of our fingers. To those questioning our over-dependency on our smartphones, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? Being dependent on our phones for basic tasks, like simple calculations, can actually help in freeing up our minds of extra clutter. Now tell me, do you remember your best friend's phone number? I bet most of you don't. That's because your phone remembers it for you, and all the space that you save can instead be used to store something more important, like the fact that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I'll set you a challenge. Don't use your phone for 24 hours. I don't mean don't use social media, but rather don't check the time or the temperature or even use the calculator. Sounds hard? Sounds time-consuming. Sounds like doing these tasks without your phone will take away your energy and efforts from other things. The fact that technology is an indispensable part of our lives is not news to us. The responsibility of using technology to enhance our abilities and knowledge ultimately falls to us. A tool for development doesn't possess the ability to convert us into smarter versions of ourselves without our own hand playing a role. What role we choose to play is our decision. As long as we make the right one, we stay one step ahead, we become smarter, and Terminator doesn't become our reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Gandhi House. Your debate was assuredly marvelous. Everyone, I request you all to please maintain silence. The program is being live streamed. That was indeed a splendid round of debating, and I'm sure it has certainly provoked the audience to ponder more on the topic. We will now be commencing with the juniors humorous poetry competition. The topic of today's humorous poetry competition is If I Had a Magic Wand, a topic that within itself contains hundreds of possibilities. Every participant has explored some of them in the form of a witty and amusing poem. Before we begin with the recitation, I'd like to mandate the rules to you all. There are 2 speakers per house. The duration of the poem is 2 minutes. At the end of 1.5 minutes, a warning bell will be rung. The final bell will ring at the end of 2 minutes. The decision of the judges will be final and binding. I now request the house captains to introduce their participants for the poem recitation. Coming up on stage is the Tagore house captain.
To represent Tagore House, I would like to invite Devanshi Prerna of class 8B on the stage to recite a humorous poem on the topic, If I Had a Magic Wand.
Once I found a piece of lumber, but I tossed it aside into a dumpster. It mysteriously kept reappearing, which was really irritating. So I picked it up and muttered, Sectum Sempra. And little did I know, I just conjured up a zebra. Oh, how I wished. If I had a magic wand, I'd be Peter Pan and live in Neverland, charm an infinite amount of pizzas, and go to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Roam around the universe, flying over the moon, meeting Chandrayaan. Hi, Aditya Elvin. See you very soon. No upsetting mama, no lecture, no drama. Instead, be Twitter Meta, 24/7, unlimited data. Make money grow on trees and live life carefree. Erasing all diseases, abolishing all rules, I'll party with friends and swim in pools. To my surprise, Mom was shouting, Wake up, lazy queen! I realized it was Sunday and I was in a dream. Oh, how I wished. If I had a magic wand, I'll end the long trail of I'm a Barbie girl in this non-Barbie world. Thank you.
Next, I would like to call Lakshanya Gupta of class 8B to enlighten us with her well-written humorous poem.
If I had a magic wand, oh, what a dream. I'd conjure up laughter like a comedy machine. I'd make silly jokes that would make you grin. With the wave of my wand, the laughter would begin. If I had a magic wand, I'll feel like the daughter of God. Turn my room into a chocolatey land and have fun as much as I can. If I had a magic wand, I'll definitely plan something beyond. Make myself disappear, become someone's nightmare, and steal his award of Filmfare. If I had a magic wand, I'll make my Insta videos viral, breaking the screens with rhythmic spells and dance routines. If I had a magic wand, bright in my hand, I'll cover my dress with diamonds, thinking I'm the queen of this land. If I had a magic wand, fire dances at my command. Water waves a liquid strand. Earth and air obey my orders in a grasp, a realm so grand. If I had a magic wand, here's what I do. I'd make all your socks match, no more mismatched shoes. I'd turn chocolate healthy so you could eat it all day, and turn all your course into a fun game to play. Thank you.
Thank you, Tagore House. A very funny recitation indeed. Next up on stage is the Nehru House captain.
The contestant from the junior category representing Nehru House and reciting a humorous poem on If I Had a Magic Wand is Aradhya Chauhan from 8B. Let us see what Aradhya has in store for us from her magic world.
If I had a magic wand. I once was sitting in my dreamland. Oh, such a boring day. And suddenly I found a magic wand. Why not enjoy with it and play? So I picked it up secretly. I thought I would use it frequently. The first thing I did with the wand was to make my hair blonde. And then I saw the clock. Oh, it was my online class time. I smirked and said, why not give my wand a second try? My friend isn't responding in the class. I think she's playing in the middle of her studies. Why don't I just turn on her camera while she's playing Five Nights at Freddy's? So I'll turn on her camera with my wand. What? I thought she is lost in her gaming world, but she was making reels on I'm a Barbie girl. Ma'am caught her and she was startled. Who turned her camera on? Ma'am asked her the reason for making reels. She said, it's fantastic how it feels. I became very angry, for this Barbie trend has conquered the whole world and even my best friend. Now I could use my wand only for the last time, and I surely knew that I would not waste it on just a bit of a slime. So I turned my magic wand. 1, 2, and 3. And from the supremacy of Barbie, I finally set the world free. Then my mommy woke me up. Get out, my little Ruskin Bond. I realized that my dream could only exist if I had a magic wand. Thank you.
The next contestant is Bhavya from 8A. Let us see what Bhavya would do if she possessed the mystical abracadabra bowl.
If I had a magic wand, I can break flask and glass, but can't find eggs in maths class. I lost hope for end of maths flight, but sleepiness got my dream lens flight. What? I could see myself through my eyes, and oh, I found a wand that mesmerized. I saw myself whining and sighing, blankly scribbling and staring. I knew the vacations took toll on me, 'cause my writing had 20 different fonts donated for free. I swished my wand here and there, but oops, an apple fell here. I grinned and bit my lips, 'cause another discovery, another set of book clips. I swished and swayed my wand for the best, but it landed me in a test. The toppers asked for extra sheets, but me in the back had my sheet incomplete. I fled the test scene and saw my little brother cry. He was little for a while, and now with magic, taller than a mile. I had to assist and couldn't resist, 'cause my mother would blame me anything it be. I swished my wand for third time's charm, but found my head between my arms. Everyone, even the teacher, crowded me as if I were a Mona Lisa and they were bidding on me. The teacher asked me about my homework. I said, "Ma'am, my dog ate my homework." No wands were to be seen in her hand. No wands were to be seen in her hand, and I was standing near the bin with my tired hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Nehru House. The poems were certainly very amusing. Coming up next is the Ashoka House captain.
The first contestant representing Ashoka House from the junior category, reciting a humorous poem on the topic, "If I Had a Magic Wand," is Sara Fatma of class 6A.
If I had a magic wand. If I had a magic wand, it and I would have a special bond. I would name it Diamond, and it would be my best friend. It would be my guiding light, and we would always be ready to fight. I would learn some amazing spells and travel to see the Christmas bells. I could surely hop across the pond if I had a magic wand. If I had a magic wand, no more copies would be lost and no one would be conned. It would help me catch some thieves, and I would have a spell or two up my sleeves. I would sprinkle some pixie dust and chant the spell ridiculous. Out would come a funny clown wearing a red and white gown. Oh, how fond I would be of my wand if I had a magic wand. Alas, my wand would help me too. The best student I would be to you. I would turn my enemies into my friends and be the one who makes amends. Also, in every competition, I would shine, even charm my teachers each time. I would make each and everyone laugh. Yes, including everyone in the staff. Finally, I would love to become a blonde if I had a magic wand. Thank you.
The second contestant from the junior category, reciting a humorous poem, is Mahin Amin of class 8C.
If I had a magic wand, if I had a magic wand, I will make all bad gone. I will be happy all day long. If I had a magic wand, I would eat all the food I ever wish to eat and become a foodie by eating all that food, wearing my soft hoodie, and after that having a stomach bigger than most sumo wrestlers. Absolutely. I will spread peace everywhere with a little magical sway by saying abracadabra, gilly gilly choo all day. I would make Santa real so that all the gifts I only wished would come to me by making a Christmas deal. If I had a magic wand, I would make me slim and beautiful like Katrina Kaif's mom. Not only for me, but I will make every child surpass the exam with no difficulty. If I had a magic wand, I would make Salman Khan marry someone, as he has been single for long. If I had a magic wand, I would make Doraemon come to life so that all the gadgets he has would come to me till I'm alive, and I wouldn't have to pay a price for all the nice things that Doraemon has that caught my eyes. If this was a little too childish, I apologize. But what can I do? I do have a heart of a 5-year-old child in disguise. Sadly, it's just a wish that I hope could be true for us kids. The most important things I would do if I had a magic wand would to wish no one ever fought. No one would do crime and never get caught. We would be able to learn things easily which we were taught, and I would surely get a magic wand support. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashoka House. The performance was indeed amazing. Next up on stage is the Gandhi House captain.
We have all been tempted by magic at some point or the other. But what would happen if we get our hands on a magical wand? To answer this question, we have our little rimsters from Gandhi House, who will take you to an astounding world full of magic, mystery, and adventure. So let me call on stage Mariam from 6C, who will recite a poem on the topic, If I Had a Magic Wand.
If I had a magic wand in my hand, I'd disappear just as planned to tease my friends. A playful sight with giggles and tricks, such a delight. I'd be invisible and unsneak my lunch to partake in the computer lab, a secret snack break. No one would know as I munched away. Invisible adventures, what a magical day. As a bird, I'd soar to the sky so high to the world of cartoons I would quickly fly. Sleepovers and laughter under the moon's gleam, magical moments like a beautiful dream. A room full of treats with a spell so sweet. Chips, chocolates, ice creams, a delightful treat. I'd call the names and they would come to me. Sweets and snacks as far as the eye could see. If the magical words were shakalaka boom boom, I would conjure up a motorbike and go vroom vroom. I would fly away to Hogwarts, learn spells with Harry Potter, and surf through the world using my magic bamboo copter. In a chocolate factory, so bright and fun, golden tickets in one hand, and in the other, cotton candy as spun. I would swim around in a chocolate lake and dip a marshmallow or two. Make candies of all colors, purple, pink and blue. From the factory, I would fly away to my bed, and on my pillow, I would rest my sleepy head. I wonder if this adventure was a dream. But when I woke up, oh, what's that I see on my nose? Whipped cream? Thank you.
Our next contestant from the junior category is Zoya Anand from 7C. Now that she has a magic wand, let us hear how she plans to mesmerize everyone and herself.
Was I dreaming? Kindly pardon. One day, while playing in the garden, I found a silver shiny wand. When I held it, swish swirl, it went all around. Oh, look wand, what you've done to the tree. Apples of gold and silver bees. Ah, I know, you're a magical wand. Yes, I can wish for whatever I want. I wished to go to Thailand and France, spending a night outside, waiting to see the Serbian lady dance. Wow, what great and horror memories I can create. This magical wand I would appreciate. Next day, I took it to my school so that in front of everyone, I can look cool. Secretly, I kept the wand in my bag. Didn't want to take the school bus, so I flew with a swag. Reached my class, zoop, surprised my friends. Where did you come from? What's the suspense? I laughed and shrugged my shoulder. Don't bother about that, I told her. Wanted to scare my class teacher and my friends. Switched on the smart board, switched off the lights, and flew all the pens. Girls started shouting, and teacher ran out of the class. Oh, help, help, quickly, send the guards. When the principal and the guards came in, they saw it all normal, as a class supposed to be from within. Oh, heard the dispersal bell ring. Let's go home and fly without wings. Last but not the least, there is an adventure about to come, just like an exciting treat. When introduced with the concept of gravity, I understood close to nothing. In my head, a cavity. In a snap, I would transport myself to the past and eat Newton's apple. And of those, I'd ensure that it was the last. With that thought in my mind, I searched for my wand. Oh dear, did I drop it as it's not been found? I remembered that you fulfilled my 5 wishes. Oh, so proud. Wish I could save the moments in iCloud. Thank you.
Thank you, Gandhi House. A very humorous recitation indeed. A very thoughtful and creative expression on the topic by all the participants indeed. It's now time to hear from the judges their thoughts and viewpoints. I now invite Ms. Maheen Faisal upon the stage to address the audience.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Not been a long time since I've left the stage. Just been less than a week. If you know, you know. So I am very grateful to be here, but there's a very quick, very short story that I would like to tell all of you here. Okay? It's 2023, right? Let's date back to 2013, okay? 10 years down the line. I was in 8th grade, okay? The entire competition of Anuradha Bhardwaj really fascinated me to an extent that I decided to write a poem of my own, okay? I auditioned, I got selected, and on the day of the competition, I lost, okay? But it's okay, you know, it's just one thing I could not make it. I was like, okay, you know, next time we'll give it a shot again, we'll see how this goes, okay? Then comes 2014, I was in 9th grade, and I was like, I'm going to do it again, okay? I wrote a debate, I went on, I auditioned, I got selected yet again. On the day of the competition, I lost again, okay? For me, it was something that really hit me because I understood, you know, I was the youngest. The people I was competing against, they were all from 12th grade. I was the only one who was from 9th grade. So there's this rule that we follow in Anuradha Bhardwaj that is still happening until date. You're not supposed to participate 3 times in a row because if you do, you would not be allowed the 4th time, okay? So in 10th grade, I did not choose to participate, okay? I wanted to sit right there. I was the only one who was sitting with a notebook and a pen making notes on how people give their speeches, okay, and how they end up winning. I was made fun of, sure, but I knew what I wanted to and I knew what I had to do. 11th grade, right, I auditioned, I got selected yet again, but I lost it. Yet again, okay? I was heartbroken, I was depressed, I was shattered. I did not know what to do. I felt the fault lies within me. Maybe I was getting something wrong, which is why I thought to myself, is there a way I can participate again? Maybe not directly, but just I wanted to be a part of the competition again. So in 12th grade, 2017, right, I decided I'm going to contest for the elections, and I did, okay? I won. I was the captain of Tego House during my tenure. And when Anuradha Bhardwaj came around, I was very sensitive, okay? I personally took every auditions. I personally rectified the speeches as much as I could, and we practiced beyond school hours. And I feel like I sort of really horrified, and the students were so scared of me, the ones who got selected, that every time they used to see me during, like, you know, during class hours, they used to just run away from me. Didi pakad ke practice kara legi, yahin pe khade khade. That is the kind of fear I had created, but I knew what I wanted, okay? The competition happened, and from what I could understood, it was the first time that I could see Tagore House bagging that trophy, the one that's there, during my tenure, during my legacy. We won the Anuradha Bhardwaj Oratorical contest in 2017-18. Okay. Moral of the story is very simple here. Nothing is made up. The moral here is don't give up. Even if you want to, even if you feel like you have to, there's nothing there is left, don't give up. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And believe me when I say this, because I have been on this stage umpty number of times, I know the courage that it takes for you to be here. Look everyone in their eyes, give a speech without a piece of paper. And I'm not carrying anyone right now as well, okay? So a very, very, very hearty congratulations to all the participants. It takes a lot to be a participant, to come on the stage, to give a speech, because they put their heart into it. And believe me when I say this, because I'm speaking from experience. And from you guys, just one last thing I would say is, and I would wrap up, I see one Anuradha Bhardwaj in all of you who's dying to speak, who just wants to come out and feels like her voice has a power that needs to be recognized. I recognize a Renu Khosla in all of you who just wishes to dance her heart out, okay? I see a basketball player, a badminton player amongst all of you who feels like the field is her best friend. So do not let any one bad moment, any one bad competition pull you down, because there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And believe me when I say this, I surely am speaking from experience. So thank you so much again for having me, believing in the fact that I am capable enough to judge a competition of this level. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now like to invite Ms. Jasleen Bedi upon the stage to share her views on today's event.
A very good afternoon, respected principal, teachers, my dearest friends. It's a privilege to be standing here. Few years back, I was a participant at Anuradha Bhardwaj, and I was in a similar position. But today, being on the other side of adjudicating the debate seems surreal to me. Let me here also add an anecdote. I was representing my house, which was the Gandhi house, and having practiced for long hours, I stood up for the competition and lost gracefully. And perhaps that was quite a defining moment for me, because I didn't let it bog me down. I've always believed that in the midst of winter, there is an invincible summer in all of us. That no matter what happens, there is this inner force in us that's even stronger. Today,
All the speakers were brilliant, spectacular in their own unique ways. So for me, all are equal winners. Of course, as a matter of rule, one has to be chosen from each house, the winner of the day. But my only suggestion is that to keep participating and keep going ahead with such speech oratorical competitions, and I think that is the key to success. Also, I would like to add a short caveat here. We were listening a number of speeches. Some were quite humorous, satirical, factual. What we as judges are looking for is a lot of good facts. I especially envy facts. So if you're offering me some good factual matrix, I'd score you accordingly. Also, I also observed certain points being repeated. So just as a matter of caution, the next time you're coming up, just make sure that you're adding some little entertaining bit of an anecdote from your own life, or you're adding something new, some new research. That looks really fascinating. I think giving this speech of gratitude of being called here is quite daunting for me. So let me not bore you much and just say thank you again to Chavi ma'am, Annie ma'am for calling me here and for giving me this position to adjudicate this debate. I feel truly honored. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now call upon the head girl, Tharvi Agarwal of class 11B to propose the vote of thanks.
A very pleasant morning to respected principal, Sister Stella, headmistress, Sister Arul, our distinguished guest for the day, Mrs. Prafullata Bhardwaj and Ms. Pallavi Bhardwaj, esteemed judges, Ms. Maheen Faisal and Ms. Jasleen Bedi, sisters, teachers, and all the students present here. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this day. First of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty for making this event a resounding success. On behalf of the entire Mater Dei family, we, the principal, staff, and students, extend our heartfelt thanks to Anuradha's mother and Pallavi ma'am for taking time out and being with us here today. We are immensely grateful to the entire Bhardwaj family for their constant support and patronage, which has gone a long way in motivating and encouraging the young lives entrusted to our care. A big thank you once again, dear Mrs. Bhardwaj and Pallavi ma'am. I extend a warm thank you to our honorable judges, Ms. Maheen Faisal and Ms. Jasleen Bedi, for their deliberation and expertise, which will inspire these young minds to continue refining their skills. I express my sincere gratitude towards our respected principal, Sister Stella, for motivating us throughout in organizing this event. A special word of appreciation to the organizing committee and all our devoted teachers who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to put this event together. I also acknowledge the efforts of the support staff for their constant help. I wholeheartedly congratulate all the participants for their unwavering dedication, which has enlightened us with the constructive exchange of ideas and left us all in awe. Last but not the least, a word of thanks goes to the wonderful audience whose presence has added vibrancy to this event. After all, any debate or a poem is incomplete without the enthusiastic applaud. As much as it hurts to say that the most anticipated oratorical competition of the year has come to an end, I'm still filled with the anticipation and excitement of the result, which will be out shortly. Once again, thank you to everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead.
I request everyone to please continue to maintain the decorum in the hall. The results will be out shortly. I request the house captains to please take charge and make sure that the discipline is maintained. I'm sure all of us are eagerly awaiting the results. I now request respected Mrs. Bhardwaj, Pallavi ma'am, and our principal, Sister Stella, to come up and give away the prizes.
Good afternoon, students. Now we are going to declare the results.
I know all of you are waiting for the results. Huh? Sitting together in houses, you're sitting according to your houses, and you're waiting to cheer for your houses. I'm well aware of that. Yeah, yes. So, moments of anticipation. I can almost feel your heartbeats here. Yeah. Even I'm very excited to announce the results. And before I announce the results, yes, as Sarika ma'am said, I think all the participants deserve a big round of applause. So, now, for the results, we begin with the senior category. The first position in debate for senior category goes to Shreya Sumesh of class 10B of Tego House. Shreya Sumesh. The second position in debate for senior category is secured by Ilma Faisal of class 10B of Gandhi House.
And now it's my turn to announce the results of humorous poetry. The first prize goes to Mahi Namin from Ashoka House. And for the second prize, you'll have to clap 2 times because we have got tie. A double clap. And the second prize for the humorous poetry in junior category goes to Devanshi Prerna from Tagore House. And Aradhya Chauhan from Nehru House. Congratulations.
The Anuradha Bhardwaj rolling trophy for the best house goes to Tagore House.
I request all the winners to gather up in the front immediately. I repeat, I request all the winners to gather up in the front immediately. I request all the participants to come up in front immediately. All the participants to gather up in the front immediately. All the participants, please gather up in the front immediately. All the participants. For the photograph, please gather up. Anvi, you have to join, you have to join. Can we please hurry up with the positions? I request everyone to please maintain silence in the hall. Please maintain silence in the hall.
Very nowadays, as I feel, girls are more intelligent, more hardworking, and otherwise very sweet and cultured and simple in way and do everything without showing it there.
So congratulations to all of you. And we also congratulate all our staff for the first time we had the live streaming for ourselves, our own staff. They have come to help us. But from now, they have learned today, and we will be having the live streaming of our next programs. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you.
Dave.